Welcome to you all in my YouTube channel Experience Mathematics. In today's video, I am going to give you the technique to remember the derivatives of trigonometric functions and hyperbolic functions. Before starting, I want you to make sure that you please subscribe my channel if you have not already subscribed, and also share these videos with your friends. I also request you to press bell icon so that you will be informed about my coming videos. So now without delay, I'll start my today's topic, derivatives of trigonometrical and hyperbolic functions. Okay, so generally while remembering derivatives of trigonometrical and hyperbolic functions, it is not difficult for us to remember the formula, but especially we may be confused in the sign. Okay, so I am going to give you the technique to remember the sign of the derivatives of trigonometrical functions and sign of the derivatives of hyperbolic functions. Okay, how to remember the sign, otherwise it is not difficult. Okay, so as we know that the derivative of this sin x is cos x, derivative of sin x is cos x. Here it is positive. Derivative of tan x, it is sec square x, this is also positive, and derivative of sec x is sec x tan x, this is also positive. Okay, and derivative of the sin, tan and sec, this is not starting with c. Okay, so derivative of the functions which is not starting with c, their derivative does not contain negative sign. Okay, and now the derivative of the trigonometrical functions which are starting with c, cos, cot and cosec, their derivative is negative. Look at here, derivative of cos x, it is minus sin x. Derivative of cot x, it is minus cosec square x. Derivative of cosec x, it is minus cosec x times cot x. Okay, so derivative of the trigonometrical functions starting with c is negative. In this way, we don't have to be confused where there will be positive and where there will be negative. Otherwise, remaining matters we need to remember. Here, this can also be remembered in this way. Let's look at here. This is sin, derivative of sin x. So sin, sin in full form we write as sin is sin, and this cos, cos in full form we write as cosine. Sin is cosine. Co means together. Okay, sine and cosine, they are together, and co, that worker and co-worker, they are friends. Similarly, sine and cosine also, they are friends. Okay, and then sine and cosine to be friend and to attract each other. Okay, their sign also must be different, because in science you have learned that opposite sign attract. So the sign derivative has positive sign, cosine derivative has negative sign. Similarly, full form of tan is tangent, and tangent, and then this full form of cot is cotangent. Tangent and cotangent, they are also friend, and then for to be friend they should attract each other. One has positive sign, other is negative sign, then only they will attract each other. So here tan derivative has positive sign and cotangent derivative is has negative sign, so their derivative has opposite sign. Similarly, let's look at derivative of sec. Here sec full form is secant, yes, and then cosec full form is cosecant. Secant and cosecant, they are friends, and then so they should attract each other. One is positive sign, one is negative sign. So negative and positive charge attract each other. So sec derivative is positive, cosec derivative is negative. In this way also we can remember. Okay, and in this way, if you remember, then derivative of these trigonometrical functions, you will not be confused with this. Okay, this technique will be helpful to you. And now next comes the derivative of hyperbolic functions. Okay, and hyperbolic functions derivative is almost opposite of this derivative of trigonometrical functions. Okay, and here derivative of sine hyperbolic x is cos hyperbolic x, and derivative of cos hyperbolic x is also not negative. This is sine hyperbolic x. Derivative of tan hyperbolic x is sec hyperbolic square x, sec hyperbolic square x. Okay, and you see here sine derivative is cos x and sine hyperbolic x derivative is cos hyperbolic x. So if you just remember the formula of the derivative of trigonometrical function, it's not difficult to remember the derivative of hyperbolic function. Okay, only hyperbolic is different, otherwise pattern is same. And derivative of cos hyperbolic x, sine hyperbolic x, derivative of cos x, here is minus sine x. Okay, but here it is opposite in sign. Sign matter I will discuss later also, but the pattern is same. Cos derivative sine, cos derivative sine. Here if we do not care sine, then here also cos derivative is sine. And similarly tan derivative is sec, tan x derivative sec square x. Here also tan hyperbolic x derivative sec hyperbolic square x. So if you just remember the trigonometrical functions derivative, then it is easy to remember the derivative of hyperbolic functions as well. Now next comes the derivative of cosec hyperbolic x. Its derivative is minus cosec hyperbolic x times cot hyperbolic x. Okay, and sec derivative is minus sec hyperbolic x and then tan hyperbolic x. And derivative of this next, that is the derivative of cot hyperbolic x, its derivative is minus cosec hyperbolic square x. Okay, so now let's look at the technique to remember the sign of this derivative of hyperbolic functions. Okay, here you can take these three hyperbolic functions as the main functions, okay, you take these as the main functions or major functions, and now you can take this as the reciprocal functions. As you know that cosec is the reciprocal of sine and sec is the reciprocal of cos and cot is the reciprocal of tan. So now this D, E, F, these are the reciprocal functions. Okay, these are the reciprocal functions. Okay, and as you see here, in the derivative of main functions, here you have positive sign, here you have positive sign, here you have positive sign. Derivative of this that main functions all is positive. Okay, and in derivative of reciprocal hyperbolic functions, you can find minus sign in all. Okay, minus cosec hyperbolic x, cot hyperbolic x, minus sec hyperbolic x, tan hyperbolic x, minus cosec hyperbolic square x. In this way, the sign of main function is sign of this main function, sign of the derivative of this main function, all is positive, and sign of the derivative of all these reciprocal hyperbolic functions is negative. Okay, if you remember in this way, then it can easily be remembered which will be positive or which will be negative. Otherwise, remaining matters is not difficult for us to remember, because the pattern of the trigonometrical functions, derivative, and then derivative of hyperbolic function is same. Okay, so I hope that this video is helpful to you, and before going, I want you to request to subscribe my channel if you have not already subscribed, and also press bell icon so that you will be informed about my coming videos, and I will also be encouraged to make more videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.